Alabama's primary election is tomorrow. And if you're headed to the polls, you need to know your rights before you go. But what happens if you show up to vote and your name isn't on the registration list? Can you still cast a ballot? We verify. Showing up to vote and not finding your name on the list is a nightmare moment for many of us, but it happens more often than you think. There's a few reasons why your name might not show up when you get to the polls. Maybe you moved to a new address and forgot to update your voter registration. Maybe you haven't voted in a while and got moved to the inactive voter list. Or maybe there was simply a mistake or mix-up when your information was entered into the system. So if your name isn't on the voter registration list on Election Day, can you still vote? Let's verify. Our sources are Alabama Secretary of State Wes Allen and Alabama's election laws. Here's what we found. Not being on the list doesn't automatically mean you're turned away. Whatever the reason, Secretary of State Wes Allen says there is a process in place for that.
Provisional balloting process is a way for if someone is in question when they walk into their precinct, like if they are just saying that this is where they vote, this is my precinct, this is where I've always voted, but for whatever reason the poll worker can't find them on the poll list, they are allowed to vote a provisional ballot.
So you still get to vote. The difference is your ballot is set aside and not counted right away. After Election Day, officials look into whether you were actually eligible to vote, and if everything checks out, your vote counts. If the issue with your ballot is something that can be fixed, like a problem with your ID, Allen says you still have a chance to make it right.
So within 7 days of the election, they can go to the boards of registrars who handle those provisional ballots after Election Day and present their photo identification, and then that vote will count.
But here's something important to note. A provisional ballot is not a way around the registration deadline. The deadline to register for tomorrow's primary was May 4th. So if you didn't register before that date, your provisional ballot will not be counted. Before you head to the polls, you can check your status and polling location on the website myinfo.alabamavotes.gov. Polls open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. And as long as you're in line by 7 p.m., you're allowed to vote. So we can verify that, yes, if your name isn't on the registration list tomorrow, you can still vote by casting a provisional ballot. But only the ballots belonging to those who registered before the deadline will count. If you have something you want us to verify, text us at 256-382-2692.